Hope you're all having a fantastic day. So I'm restarting this live stream because the previous one I sounded a bit too silly and obvious, did not really articulate my words uh, profoundly, so I feel like I had to restart this live stream. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. So let me give you a couple of updates um, with my what do you call it? I forgot the word. With my lymph node. I don't know if you have not watched my previous live stream or did not read some of my posts. Let me just say that, you know, for the past 2 weeks or so, I was pretty sick, and the sickness slowly climbed up. And not something so bad where you're bedridden. No, you're just pretty sick, and I formed a lymph node. This could be to multiple things. My ears have formed slight little lumps on them as well, possibly an infection. Um, yes, an infection. Because yesterday, before I even live streamed, I was eating an apple, and all of a sudden, my jaw started to pain. Before that, I was eating a pear, and my mouth was normal. But as I chewed on my right side, it started to really strain on my ear. Like I felt very sharp pains. Now I know it's a ear infection because it's so close to the ear, it's paining, you know? It could also be a gum infection, but I've not noticed anything severe on the right side. Mostly stuff on the left side, so I don't know. There are times where I swallow, it's kind of hard, but not all the time. So it's seldom. Seldom do I struggle with swallowing. I'm not shivering, I'm not sweating, I don't have fevers. It's just a virus I have. I hope it's just a very simple ear virus and not anything else, because I've been so worried about this for the past few days now. Because when you see something like that and then you search it out, it's not some kind of random lump. Now, I've had lymph nodes in the past. I can't remember if it was on my face, because I've had multiple lumps on my face, around my face, swollen glands around my face. I don't know if it's specifically a lymph node. If I had one in the past on my face, I can't recall. Maybe I did, because I do remember feeling a couple of lumps, but I could be mixing it up with other lumps, because even I think a year before last year, I had a profound lump on the side of my jaw. It was pretty big, like really big. And then I think it just went away. I kind of forgot about that until now. Maybe I've had something like this, because I have felt in the past a couple of round things around me, but this was long ago. I don't know if it was underneath me, underneath my chin, or around my neck. I can't remember. I really can't remember. However, it doesn't really matter. What matters is now. So, yes, I had some oil poured into my ear, hoping that helps, but it doesn't really help as much. I have been drinking turmeric water, just a bit of turmeric in hot water, and as you drink, what I heard was turmeric can actually thin your blood and actually help with any large sores whatsoever. So I am worried. I'm very worried about that. I'm just very worried about just this thing not going down. I do recall the second day I noticed it. The second day, which was the morning. The previous day, it was the night when I noticed it. But that morning when I went to the doctor's last week Thursday, it was quite red. It was slightly bigger. Of course, it is shrinking, but it's gonna take time, and I hope it shrinks. I hope it goes away. My, you could say, my little diet consisted nothing but chicken years ago and junk food. But then I changed my diet. I've been changing my diet ever since last year. Like last year, I changed the most. I started eating foods I've never eaten, or I've seldomly eaten. So that's an interesting. Interesting point. So I have been changing my diet, and I'm gonna make sure it's permanent. That I always eat healthy foods. Like I'm now time to time eating so many fruits and vegetables. Just going and eating two fruits, eating a fruit. Just before this, I ate an apple. So I ate an apple. So that's interesting. Um, but also, um, yesterday I ate, I think two stuff. I think I even ate bananas the other day, like three of them. Like I've been eating non-stop fruits and vegetables. Can't eat too much because my siblings need to eat too. So you can't really eat everything. You know, it's unfair. nonetheless, nonetheless, I just want to say that it has been a very stressful time for me. And look, I know a couple weeks ago my laptop stopped working, but I had a chance to take whatever I can, the most important stuff back then, and go. Still had some important stuff trapped in, but I also had an alternative way to receive my content, which was getting an enclosure. However, I was able to take all my interesting content, my pictures, and what else? And my documents. I was able to take all of those out. I was able to take all of those out. So that was just a couple days ago. I was able to do that, so I'm kind of fine with that. I just need to get a new device. This tablet going back off and on, I'm worried about that, but not as much now because I have a bigger dilemma on my face. So I hope it goes away. I never mentioned this. I never mentioned this. I should mention it now. I should mention it now. But I should mention it now. But the day when I was at the doctor's office, outside we were standing, my mother and I, and we were waiting for transport. And as we were waiting, across the street, far across, like very far off, there's like other buildings and stuff like that. There was a bar, and I saw people that I've never seen in such a long time. I saw some of my old friends that I've never kept in touch with for years. Because after I dropped out, I never kept in touch with them. Not to be rude, not because I had anything against them. No, there was no vitriol against any one of us. I really loved them. They were so kind. They taught me to be kind. That's something I learned from them because as much as I was a quiet kid in school, seeing them motivated me to be kind. Seeing them motivated me to do better, you know? And even though I was not good in grade 9 with my work, just them being there was pretty important. And I saw some of them that day, and I just quickly, you know, turned around a bit and I was like, wait a minute, is that really them? They can't really see me though, but it's like, because obviously I look so different, but they look so different too. Like, oh my goodness, I was baffled, and never would have thought I would have seen some of my friends there. I never would have thought that. Like I was like, wait a minute, was this planned? Was this actually planned? Because because for the past few years I've been understanding how everything works, which was things are basically planned. Things are basically planned. So what does that mean? Why are things planned? You may ask. Well, it feels that way. It feels like a very interesting story. Like everything was laid out like perfectly well bricked. So here's my here's my here's my best take on my best viewpoint on this, which is that things are planned out, and and I hope that things can at least change for my future because I'm trying to do better right now. things feel like planned out. If certain things don't go how it how you wanted it to go, it goes a different route and it builds up. Because seeing my friends sparked something inside me. It sparked something inside me, you know? Like it really shocked me. It really just twisted my head. And it made me realize that you have to put all your effort into something. You gotta do something, you know? You've got to do something. You've got to push forward. You can't just be lingering on some heavy thoughts, lingering on some wicked thoughts. You have to move on and do something what you wanted to do. Do your dream, you know, and be the next pillar for someone else. Be the inspiration for someone else. You know, you got to do something. And seeing them out there smiling, having fun. You know, one of them was driving, which I was so surprised at. And I was like, wait, okay, now I can't remember if one of them was driving because I haven't seen them how they sit inside the car, how they got in the car. I can't remember, but I do remember seeing them and just exploding inside. Like I couldn't believe that it was some of my friends. I never thought I would see them again. Even though we never spoke, just seeing them really, really changed everything. I couldn't believe what was going on. And I feel like this was planned. If this lymph node is not severe, if this lymph node is just a regular infected lymph node, and I can get on with the rest of my life, I know very well this was planned for me to do better because I feel like maybe God was trying to say, "Hey, what's going on? What is going on with you? You know, you need to eat healthy, you need to do better." And what's funny enough is that anytime we get sick, that's the time where we get challenged to do better, to eat better. You know, I'm sure many of us, when we when we get sick, we slowly realize that we need to do better. We need to eat better. So what happens is we eat better when we're sick, but we got to keep it up, keep that momentum up. So that's just what I plan to do: change my diet, change everything, eat healthy, you know. And I've been doing this for some time, but this sickness made me realize I need to do more. There's more than just eating one fruit a day. You have to eat two, sometimes three. So you got to eat healthy. You got to do a couple of exercises. Sometimes I do, you know, sometimes I forget about it, but you got to keep on doing this. You got to be there. You got to expand, not just with your work, but you got to expand and do something. And speaking of work, I've written so many ideas, but never got any of them done. And and then when you see your friends, it just makes you realize that you need to do better. Because when I was with my friends, I was very motivated, and just seeing them make motivates me again. And I realized that you gotta do things. It may sound very hard to do them, but once you get through them, it's so easy to do it again. It's like playing a video game. You get stuck in one section. Let's just say you get stuck in one section, but when you clear it, it's pretty easy. Most of the time, it's pretty easy. So So we got to do better, and I feel like this was planned in some way, which it's not really a super bad thing, you know. I feel like I needed to see this, but if I'm perfectly fine, perfectly normal, no death sentence, I guess, then I can really put it to the I can really put my foot to the metal because I can really do this. I can really move forward. One thing I'm worried about is having some kind of sickness that I cannot be cured from. And that's why I'm worried about this lymph node. If this was just God's plan of saying, look at your friends, you need to see this because you're not improving, then you feel you feel interested in doing content, you know? Hold on, I need my reference book. Hold on. Like that's the only time when I actually want to do something. And I feel like God was like, this is the last, possibly the last way of helping. Maybe that's what God thought. Maybe this will improve your work because you keep talking about it, but you don't do anything. And I just hope, I just hope that, I just hope that, um, that I get my life back in order. Hope I heal swiftly just to continue my work. Because I was even given this a couple months ago as a gift, and I never worked with it. I showed this on the main channel, and I never worked with it after that until recently, like just a couple days ago. So it's well, a couple days ago, last week Friday. You see what's going on, you see how it is, like when you get opportunity, like this is a gift to have this guide. It's a gift. When I was a kid, I would download apps just to see how to draw this type of stuff, just to see how you draw everything. You see? So let me just see what I'm doing over here. I have no idea. I'm trying to see how you do it. I've always, I haven't drawn in such a long time, but I've always struggled with the hands and maybe certain sections of the feet. I've always struggled. I think I need to draw on something very difficult, something very hard, because this is not really a hard surface. It's a bed. I just hope that it is just some kind of like, I just hope it's some kind of booster instead of some kind of death sentence. I hope I'm eating healthy. I hope I learn a lot from this and don't stop because I had plenty of chances, and I'm sure many of you guys remember all of the chances I've had and what I've done with those chances, which was basically not that much. So, okay, the neck is coming around very well. So when it comes to female necks, you gotta make it very thin. So let me just check. Like this is my reference. This is such an important book. Now that I look back, I had this couple months last year, and it was so fascinating. Yet I didn't do any drawing. I just kept it there for some time, and it really pisses me off because I could have done a lot more. I could have done so much more. There's a big section on face and hair and everything about that. And even body. How do you draw the body and everything like that? Drawing shoulders. So you have for a female. Now, here's the thing. My art style, I'm gonna switch multiple art styles. I don't just want to keep with the anime art style. I want to do the old Western art style. I want to do all the types of art styles. So obviously, I'll try so many things. I will try so many things. So if you look at this drawing, it looks like a mixture of the two art styles because it's not really a perfect anime style. Okay, maybe it is now because of the sharp jaw. Okay, so the neck is very low. I mean, very, very gentle. I'm not doing a very straight face. It's going to be in a different angle. You do have some angles over here as reference. Um, so, okay, it's important to have that as a reference. So, there are plenty of apps that actually give you give you a lot of uh, what's the word, assets, so you can move around. I tried it on this tablet years ago, but unfortunately, like, it was so slow. It was like slower than a snail. I feel like you need like a better tablet just to use that. Okay, so as you can see, I'm trying to get the neck right. I'm trying to get the neck right. Okay, let me just change it a bit. I'm sorry. Sometimes I need two hands for this. So, okay, the neck. Obviously, I'm not trying to copy so much, but I need to know the neck. Okay. Is this good? I think it is good. So I'm gonna draw the chest. Now, I'm just gonna, because this is just a demo drawing. I'm just gonna do something like this. Something like this. Then you can just do that. Okay. Okay. We'll work on that later on a separate layer. When it comes to body, look at this. I had all of this and I could have worked with this a couple months ago. But I left it to rot in the dust. Not because I wanted to, because I just never had any inspiration to. So, you know, when you get inspiration, you just want to push forward. So when it comes to the torso, you could do something like that. Okay, so unfortunately, I'm not done something like that. But of course, you can just say, okay, like that. So we can just rub out those stuff. Don't worry, we can add more later. We can add more later. Okay, so the arms just gonna be, well, since we already have the shoulders already, might as well just draw that. Okay. Okay, that's kind of cool. I always struggle with hands. So this hand is like this big. I wish I had a ruler with me. Where is my ruler? Okay, I need to do some measurements. You always need a ruler, okay? Always bring a ruler. When I was a kid, I really loved the flexible rulers. I had a flexible ruler. It was purple. I loved it. It was so cool because you can play with it around and smack people. But I never did any of that, so don't worry. I was a good kid. So I'm gonna measure the line. Starts from 1 and it ends on, I would say, just, okay, 2 points something, I guess. 2 points. We'll just see. We'll just see what happens. So, I'm gonna draw the line. Okay. No, no, this looks really good. I mean, moving on. Now we need a ball joint, which comes down from here. How do we do this? I do know how to draw the full torso. I kind of like drawing torsos, you know? So no, this body is not going to go that angle. It's coming down. It's coming down. I'm trying to follow the hand and go yeah, but I need to come down because I have so much of space. Like, look at the amount of space I have over here. Okay. Then you draw the torso. To draw a torso is kind of like that, like a curve. The more you try to be something to be something similar, like the drawing, the more it's difficult. Like, it's so difficult. I kid you not, it's so difficult. I need a proper surface to draw on because it's not so good to draw on a bed, especially with just paper instead of something over under it. Okay. Today I'm not so happy. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I've just been so stressed. That's why I'm not speaking so clear. That's why my voice sucks. I'm trying to make it curve. I need to go down, not curve. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. Okay. It needs to curve, yes, but not so weird. I don't know if this is correct. I think this is not that good. To be fair, it's not that good. I feel like it's uneven. It's so hard to erase. Okay, here we go. The best I can do is this. That's why you have to make it sides. Okay, so you do that, and then you give little legs. This is where your knees are going to be, so then you draw a very tall body, very tall legs. Okay, I can't do that much now, but I'll do it later. I also have pancakes to make, so that's kind of important. I don't know if my mother's done cooking because I need to use the stove. My throat really hurts. Okay. So I've spoken about a lot of other things, and I feel like we're gonna speak about other things for some time. So, what else can I talk about today? What else can I actually talk about? I think I can talk about, I don't know. I really don't know what else to talk about. I'm really struggling. My throat really hurts now. Okay. Let me just check what else to talk about. Because I need to take my Nintendo Switch out of charge. Just before, like, you know, 6, 7 o'clock, I was watching Jeremy's. No, just before 8 o'clock, I guess. I was watching Jeremy's live stream, and one cool thing about Jeremy live streaming in the morning, well, my time in the morning, is that I get to understand what he's talking about. And it did mention some things about wokeness, and obviously, obviously, wokeness is something pretty important for many people, and the best way to defeat wokeness is of course, um, you could say, to completely make your own content. Do what Eric July is doing, and of course, make your own content, build your own content, because no one is going to be there for you, okay? No one's going to be there and make specific, no one's going to bespoke content for you. They are all making content for people that will vote for them at the end of the day, will vote for their favorite party. It's not about making everyone making ubiquitous, making games that could be loved ubiquitously, if that's even a word. It's all about specifically what ideology. You know, I know not every game is going to fit for everyone, but now almost every game just feels like it's just for the lowest denominator. And that's unfortunate because so many games, so many established titles, established names have been completely corrupted. And when you point it out, it's offensive. When it comes to pointing out woke movies, it's okay. You can't point out anything woke in a video game because people get angry, people get pissed off, you know? There were some woke things happening with Dead Space, the remake, and apparently people got angry when you point it out. So that's the thing. It's like, do we really need to just only point it out, or can we do better? Can we at least make content? That's the most important thing right now. Can we make content? It's not about just, you know, sulking all the time, being glum. No, it's about doing better. We know what they're doing. We have been seeing this for years. It's worse than 2016 and 2017. So let me just say that I thought back in 2018 the Battlefield 5 was completely terrible, but no, I had no idea it would get even worse. So what I'm trying to say is that it'll always get worse, and no one's here to save your day. You have to do it yourself. And that's something pretty important. Like in the morning, I was checking the eShop and I was looking at the games I want. Oh, I want some of those games so badly. But then I have to make a big decision. Like, just remember, some of that money is basically going back for the ESG investors. It's not going for the company. It's not going to help the company. It's going just to specifically ESG investors. And you have to make that bold decision whether you want your content, whether you want your money, sorry, I'm mixing up my words, whether you want your money to go to people that just really hate you. And that's something pretty important. In this capitalist system, we can choose what we want. I can choose what I want. I can choose with my money, with my wallet, I can choose all of these important things. But a lot of people still feel like they're forced to do these type of purchasing. You know, some of them have a lot of attachments, childhood attachments, so you can't really blame them, but then they get disappointed at the end. The worst part is that wokeness is now literally advertised. It's advertised out and about, so you know it's going to be crap. But it doesn't really matter as well. You know, you also have people reviewing this stuff early. You can tell if it's going to be woke or not. You can get the signals. Unfortunately, people are just hoping that these companies change their mind. It's going to be very difficult. I'm not going to say that I have the only solution, but I feel like I have the best solution, which is just make our own content and start producing, not just for ourselves, it's for people regardless of political indifferences. It's all about having fun, and that's what it's all about. In the next few years, things are going to get worse, and pointing it out is going to get even worse because a lot of people love to defend the old god, you know. So when you start saying something different, people get very pissed off. My throat's really hurting, so I have to go. Have a fantastic day. I will try and update you guys on the picture because obviously I need to finish it up. Bye.